Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's good to be back, you guys, for what I believe is going to be a beautiful podcast episode. Beautiful, but also important, necessary. Isn't it about time that you enjoyed being single? Isn't it about time that you enjoyed living this beautiful solo life, just you, yourself, fully embracing you as a person, your passions, your hobbies, your interest, fully immersing yourself into all that you are, truly valuing yourself, loving yourself, knowing your worth, and putting every ounce of energy, love, devotion into you? I'm going to answer that for you. The answer is yes. 100%. It is about time that being single wasn't something to worry about, something to dread, something to be concerned. Is time running out? Am I going to be alone forever? I feel lonely. And to be honest, I'm saying this because I've been there as well. Let's be honest, go back a couple of episodes. It was only around the September, October time that I was saying to you guys that I was feeling extremely lonely, that I was really struggling. I'd even had a little stint on Hinge because I felt that I needed someone, a guy to save me, to feel loved, to feel wanted. So it's probably only been about 5 months. And in that time, of course, as you all know, I've put a heck of a lot of work into myself. And, those of you who have listened to every single episode, you've been on this journey with me through immersing myself fully into everything that I want to do, fully going all in on my spirituality, my growth, enjoying myself, letting my hair down, enjoying my own company. And I've come out well and truly the other side. And actually, I'll be completely honest with you, the way I feel now, it's funny I say this, I don't feel like I'd even have time for a partner in my life. I don't know. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Of course, I still would love to meet someone, by the way. That's still very much, I don't want to say goal. It's not really a goal. But of course, I'd like to meet someone at some stage in my life. I'm certainly not in a rush. I don't feel this deep yearning or desire or need. But yeah, it is. I love love. And I have a lot of love to give. And I do truly appreciate deep connection that comes from an intimate relationship as well. Of course, I have it when I go to my women's circles, my meetups, be around other women, or having those deep, meaningful interactions with men as well. I do have that, but on an intimate, romantic level, there's just something else in that, isn't there? But I certainly don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like, oh, woe is me, I haven't got that, when will it come? Because I already do have it. I have it with myself. And that's what's most important. I was actually having a discussion with someone recently, and he was actually saying about love and loving other people. But as I said even to him, if you don't love yourself, what have you got? And I believe that this is why is it 50% now of marriages end in divorce? I don't know what the percentages are on this, but there's a heck of a lot of toxic, unhealthy relationships. Even if you didn't listen to my last one, that's a good example right there. There's ones that are even worse than that. I was even speaking to a girl on my Instagram recently. She was talking about her mum and her stepdad who are in a relationship. Well, they're not in a relationship, but they live under the same roof for financial reasons. The environment, the household is so toxic. They absolutely hate each other. They don't want to be together. They are not together. But they're together just because they've paid off the mortgage. Like that really, really upsets me because there's just no need for that. And again, this is my opinion. I understand financial implications and things, but that's two people making a choice to remain in a comfortable situation that makes them miserable rather than moving on to discomfort in order to make themselves happy. And that just kind of brings it around to very much of my previous episode with my ex. And this is a common issue when people are in unhealthy relationship dynamics or situations, that they are so frightened to leave that person because the comfort of staying in a situation that actually makes them unhappy is better than the discomfort of not knowing what's next, of leaving. I'll say that again because I don't think I worded it very well. But the comfort of remaining in an unhappy, toxic situation, relationship, is more appealing than the discomfort of leaving but finding happiness. But that is obviously unknown. And that's really common. Even though I absolutely hated this guy, I didn't want to be with him, I had no interest, and still I was frightened. And it was because of the discomfort, because I'd almost formed this reliance upon him, even though I wasn't happy. And I knew that I was happier on my own. But still, it was having to get over that comfort zone level and move out of that, move into the discomfort of the unknown, of the uncertainty. But at the end of the day, if you're not happy now, we need to take that jump, take that risk, take that leap to move out of our comfort zone, to get uncomfortable, but to pursue happiness. My honest definition of true success is happiness in life. However that may look for you, we all have a different definition of happiness and what we wish to pursue in life. And I think if we get really, really deep into it ourselves, rather than listening to the external, listening to society, our family, our friends, what everyone else is doing, what we feel we should be doing, if you pursue just being happy every day, that's true success to me. It doesn't matter if people see you as the crazy cat lady at 40-year-old. If you are happy, you are more successful than the married couple with 3 children, pet dog, earning 200k a year between themselves, and they're miserable as fuck. Yeah, I've gone off on a complete tangent there, and we're already like 7-8 minutes in, and I've not actually started fully speaking about what I want to yet. But yeah, being single is a freaking blessing. It is powerful. It is beautiful. It is an incredible part of your life. It is an incredible season if you make the most of it. If you do sit at home swiping on online dating, scrolling on social media, looking at loved up couples, comparing to other people, thinking all these endless thoughts, worrying about when you'll meet your person, that you're not good enough. Yes, of course, it is an absolute misery if that's how you are living your single era. But if you choose to actually pursue your happiness, your purpose, everything that you love about life, whether you are with someone or not, because that's another thing. How often do you lose yourself when you get into a relationship? All of the things that you love doing, your hobbies, your interests, being around friends, pursuing goals, dreams, whatever, how often do they take the back burner when you get into a relationship? The right relationship, the right person who comes into your life should not take you away from your life's purpose. We were not brought here onto this earth to simply just meet someone, fall in love, have children, live happily ever after. There's so much more to life. That is a tiny, minute part of why you are here. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So I'm just going to say that to truly thrive and enjoy and love your single era, you actually have to try at it. You have to work at it. It's not something where you just flick a button and all of a sudden your entire mindset shifts and you absolutely love this time in your life. But you can train yourself to. The same way that we've been trained to believe that happiness comes from being in a relationship, you can actually rewire your brain, change your entire perspective and mindset to believe that you are absolutely 1,000,000% perfectly fine on your own as well. And again, I'm not coming at it that, let's be happy on our own and we don't need no man, things like that. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. But you should still be happy regardless of the situation that you are in. When you are happy on your own, that is true success. And that's where you can truly appreciate everything and everyone around you for who they are, for what they are, for all of your unique experiences that you go through on your life's journey, because it is a part of you. And you love everything about you. But yeah, it takes some doing. And like I say, only 5 months ago, I was lonely. I felt like I needed a man. I felt extremely lost. And now I'm just so freaking happy. I wonder whether I'd even be able to fit a guy in. I absolutely love my life. I love my hobbies, my interests, my passion, my purpose, everything about my life, my daily habits and routines, all of the future visions and plans and goals and dreams. They're about me. And if and when someone comes into my life, then they will further add to my already incredibly beautiful and happy life. And that is when, by the way, that when you do meet when you do meet people along your journey, men, women, whoever you are may have a relationship with, you would not settle. Because if anyone is bringing you uncertainty about yourself, unhappiness in your day-to-day life, making you questioning your worth, bringing you drama, chaos, upset, just those amber flags, is it worth it? When you're already happy on your own, it makes you question everything, because when you are happy on your own, someone should be a bonus. You are not needing them, you are not desperate for them, they're just a beautiful part of your life. It's like this whole saying of finding my missing piece or my other half. We are already whole. We are already whole. And another bugbear that I see as well, and I've had this actually myself when I have gotten into relationships or things, and people have commented, oh, it's so nice to see you happy, or people would say, oh, you deserve to be happy, because I'm single right now. I can't wait for you to settle down and meet someone. You deserve to be happy. And again, it's portraying that societal stipulation that true happiness comes from a relationship, comes from another half, our other half, comes from being in a pair. It does not. It does not. But yeah, I still don't feel I've got into this episode properly yet, but I feel like I've got a big message here, and I hope that it's getting through. And it at the end of the day, it still all ties in, doesn't it? So it's important. But yeah, as I was saying, truly thriving and enjoying and embracing and loving your single era, it is a journey. It takes some work, like anything. Think of it like the gym. Think of it learning a new skill, learning a language, trying something different that you were not used to, because that's all it is. We've been brainwashed to believe a certain way, and now it's time to brainwash ourselves to think a different way, and that takes time, doesn't it? We're having to work that muscle day in, day out, over potentially a period of months. If you haven't already listened to my episode, which I think is titled Don't Skip This One, so yeah, you shouldn't have skipped it, but that's very much about learning to love yourself through forgiving yourself. That's a big one. Writing that letter of forgiveness for all of your experiences, whether big, small, anything that you felt disappointed in or let down, or areas that you feel that could have been better in your life. Just forgiving everything. And if that includes forgiving other people as well, write it all down. Do what you've got to do. That's a very big part of it. But also when we think of self-love, and I want to do a separate episode on self-love particularly, so I'm just going to briefly speak about this now. But self-love is not going getting your nails done, going getting your hair done, doing your makeup every day, treating yourself to a glass of Prosecco after a hard day, running yourself a bubble bath. Although that's a beautiful part of loving yourself, treating yourself, the real, raw, deep, necessary parts of loving yourself is actually at the hardest times. So it's when you look in the mirror and you're feeling ugly, but you choose to love yourself and show up for yourself and don't ridicule yourself or put yourself down. It's when you feel tired and unmotivated, but you choose to show up at the gym anyway or go for that run because you said you would and that was part of your mission and your goal. It is getting into work on time because you said you was going to get better with your time management. You was working on your priorities. It's setting boundaries with yourself but also with others. It is declining the invite because you just want to stay in and have time for yourself, or you don't want to be around certain types of energy. It's actually really difficult to love yourself, and that's why, as I said before, it is a journey. Another huge part of loving yourself is being truly connected to yourself. And when I say that, again, I'm going to get into a whole other episode around this, but as much time as possible in nature, meditation, breath work, sound healing, cold plunges, whatever. Anything to get you out of your mind and into your body. As much time as possible as that. But yeah, I do want to get onto a whole other episode, particularly about self-love and the darker sides to it. Because it is not as simple as looking into the mirror and saying, I love myself. It is not. It is standing up for yourself. It is setting the boundaries. It is knowing your worth, having those difficult conversations, showing up for yourself even when you're tired, even when you're sad, even when you've had a bad day. But yeah, this is just another part of being single and enjoying this solo era of your life, is to truly just love yourself for who you are, what you are, and embracing all those imperfections. But moving on to what I believe is the main part of this episode, and we're almost 18 minutes in now, but if you had plans today with your friend for coffee and they cancelled, would you still go? If you really wanted to go on holiday this year but you had no one to go with, would you still go? If you needed to get out for fresh air and go for a walk but you had no dog or all your friends were busy that day, would you still go? If you usually rely on going to a gym class in order to be instructed and be around other people who are spurring you on, but there's no classes on for a week, would you still go to the gym and do your own workout? What I'm trying to get at here is everything that you do with other people or around others, you are completely capable of doing, not only doing, but also enjoying and absolutely loving every moment of it on your own. If someone cancels meeting up with you, if you've no one to do something with, what are you waiting for? Get out there. And that is the message here. Everything that you want to do with other people, get out there and do it on your own. The more that you do on your own, the less that you rely on other people, the more that you fall in love with yourself, your own company, and you actually get to a point, I'll be completely honest with you, where you prefer to do things on your own because it is such a beautiful experience. I am telling you now, I prefer going away on my own. I will choose to take myself out for dinner over asking a friend. Don't get me wrong, I think there's definitely a lot of value in connection. I am an advocate for connection. It's so important. And I love meeting up with family, meeting up with friends, going to events or meetups where I'm connecting with completely new strangers that I have never met before. I love all of that. And there's a beauty in that as well, because it is important to feel a part of something, a part of society, a part of a community, and feel just supported and surrounded by other people. That is important. But also, who are you without others in your life? What do you enjoy? Think back to when you was a childhood. What did you enjoy? So for example, I used to go dancing. I've tried singing. Actually, this has definitely not changed much. Whenever my mum used to take me out as a child, if she needed to run errands or anything like that, we had to go to a cafe as well. It was essential. We'd have to go somewhere for food or a drink, and that stayed with me up until now. So that's a huge part of what I love to do. Take myself out for food. I used to enjoy playing out, being in the sun, being by water, all these things. So what did you enjoy doing as a child? Think back, as children, we used to play games. We used to colour, paint, be creative. That is another big part of embracing your time being solo and on your own, that is to go back and fulfill your inner child's needs and wants and desires. Show up as your inner child's biggest fan. Do the things that you used to enjoy doing. But yeah, more than anything, it's being your own best friend. Being your partner right now. Who would you think of who you would want in your life and how they would treat you, where they would take you, the things that you would do, the connection that you would have. Think of all that you would want in a partner and be that to yourself. Show up as that for you in your day-to-day life. Think of it this way. If I could guarantee right now that you were to meet the man or woman of your dreams 6 weeks from now, you had 6 weeks, and this next person that you meet, you're with them until the day that you die or they die, until death do us part. This is forever. You've got 6 weeks. How would you spend your life? How would you spend your days? What would you want to do now before you were settled down with someone? What would you like to achieve? What would you like to work on for yourself? What passions, hobbies, interests would you want to pursue? Where would you want to go? What are all the things that you would want to do and have achieved and experienced before you meet this person and are like, yeah, this is it now. This is me. I'm happy. And this isn't to say that you can still enjoy incredible things with them as well. It's not about that. But if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that this person was coming into your life 6 weeks from now, think of all the things that you would be doing. Think of all the feelings that you would have, all the emotions, the experiences, everything that would be going on in your life, and pursue that now. Enjoy that now. Be that person now. Be the love of your own life. Because honestly, we are born alone and we die alone. You are going to be spending the most amount of time with yourself in this year. In this life. You have your entire life to spend with yourself. Other people, they come in and out of your life. You enjoy connections, whether brief, long, seasonal, what have you. Yeah, that's beautiful. But the only person that is with you for your entire life is yourself. So my gosh, you've got to love yourself. You have got to enjoy yourself. You have got to be your own biggest fan. Root for yourself. Love yourself like your life depends on it, because it quite literally does. Enjoy this time. It is not a burden. It is not a time to be sad, to be miserable, to wonder when, to wonder what if. Think of all the beautiful things in your life. And obviously, I don't want to sit here and be on my high horse and say that, life's amazing and it's special and be grateful for all that you have. I completely appreciate that the people that are listening to my episode could be going through some really turbulent times, could have lost everything, could be really, really struggling, whether that be with their mental health, with their finances, with their physical health. Maybe there's things going on with their family, their friends, maybe their life is falling apart, and I'm here telling you to be grateful and love yourself and love your life. And some of you may well be thinking to yourself right now, well, it's okay for you. You've got your health. You've got a roof over your head. You've got money to do all of these nice things. And I am very mindful of that. The same as how we don't all have the same 24 hours in a day that Molly May Hay got absolutely roasted about, because it's true, like we do all have 24 hours, but those 24 hours are very unique and different to each individual here. And the same as what I am saying, I don't know what you are going through. I just know from my experiences and from everything that I've been through that this can turn around if you really, really, really want it to. And you do have a choice. I promise you do. It may not seem that way, but you do. And I'm not asking you to go out and book some big solo trip or take yourself to a fancy spa every weekend, or it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be big. But what little steps can you take today, this week, this month? What little goals can you set yourself? What little treats can you look forward to enjoy? And yeah, sometimes that could well be just soaking in the bath all night, listening to beautiful music. As much as I said at the start of this episode that it's not all about that, it is as well. It could well be just spending 5 minutes before bed and just writing down all the thoughts and feelings and experiences that you have gone through today, and one glimmer moment of that day. Because as human beings, we naturally do deflect to the negative. It's just part of our dynamics and our survival state that we look at the negatives in situations, the hard things that have happened, the struggles that we're going through. When we think of different situations, we most likely look at what could go wrong. That's again just our brain dynamics. That's the way that we are built. So again, we have to teach ourselves to think differently. So at the end of the day, write down everything that's happened, everything that maybe has gone wrong, everything that you are struggling with. But can you think of one glimmer moment from this day? By that, I mean something good that's happened. That could be really something small, that you enjoyed a beautiful cup of coffee today, that a nice gentleman held the door open for you, that you got a good discount on your weekly shop, that the sun was shining today, it wasn't raining for a change, that your friend messaged you, they asked you how you are. Anything. I'm just thinking of things off the top of my head here. And another important part of all this, when we're thinking of our glimmer moments and things that have happened, what have you done well today? What are you proud of for yourself today? And now that may well be that you got up at your alarm clock and didn't press snooze and didn't roll around moaning about getting up. It could be that you got out of bed today. Congratulate the fuck out of yourself, because I am so proud of you. If you have been struggling getting out of bed and you just wanted to rot away in your bed for days and weeks, and you've got out of bed today and made a move, then I'm so freaking proud of you, and so should you be. Start small. How I would personally recommend to go is start just slightly out of your comfort zone. So again, we're all individual. Think of something, aim for something that is just slightly out of your comfort zone to work towards. That doesn't have to be today. Set yourself a goal. By the end of the week, I want to achieve this. I want to show up in that way for myself. I want to be that person for myself. Just little things. What do you want to achieve for yourself? How do you want to feel about yourself, about your life? And then go out there and get it. You are the love of your own life. Romanticize your life. We are here. Like when you think as well, we're not here forever. How would you want to feel on your deathbed? That you made the most of your life, that you got out there and lived for you and enjoyed beautiful connections, but was mostly connected to yourself. Lived a life that you love, that you deserve, that you are worthy of, that made you happy. Anything else is a bonus. Everyone else externally is a bonus. You are the love of your own life. I created a reel for Valentine's that was basically saying about how my ex, he'd blamed me on Valentine's. And it was on my last episode as well, wasn't it? That he'd blamed me on Valentine's, that I was feeling sad because he hadn't got me anything. And he made a point of obviously saying, you know, I did that for you the other week, whatever. And now I'm just at this point where I don't need someone to buy me flowers, to take me out, to do these nice things. Yeah, that's amazing, that's beautiful, but I can get my own damn flowers. Oh my God, Miley Cyrus. I can buy myself flowers. Just came to my head as I said that, but it's true. How do you want to be treated? How do you want to feel? Do you even realize your own worth? Do you love yourself? Do you show up as someone who loves yourself? Because that's another thing as well, and they say this a lot, is how you treat yourself. It is telling others how to treat you as well. And this is the thing, when if you think back to relationships that you'd had in your past, where were you when you met them? As in your mindset, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Where were you? What were your vulnerabilities? How did you feel about yourself? How did you treat yourself? And the people that came into your life in that time, how did they treat you? Let's think back to that for a moment. Because when I think back to at least the last two guys that I was, semi-dating, if you can even call it some sort of relationship, whatever, when I look back, I was so vulnerable. I was hard on myself. I thought I was a failure, that I wasn't good enough. I was struggling. I wanted someone to save me because I didn't think I could save myself, and I needed to feel held and loved. I yearned for it because I was going through difficulties, challenges, hurdles, vulnerabilities, things like that. And what did I get? Well, we've been there, haven't we? If you've listened to the episode, you'll know. But it wasn't great, put it that way. And I'm able to see how I manifested those people into my life. I'm at a point in my life now where I certainly wouldn't take any bullshit. I wouldn't settle for, do you want to meet up for Netflix and chill? Do you want to come round to mine? Or should we just do you want to just go for a walk? Do you want to meet at the gym? Do you want to do this, that? No. I want to be treated like a fucking queen, like the queen that I am, like I am the prize because I am, and so are you. And you deserve to be treated that way. And when I say all this as well, like it's mutual, you don't just get treated like a queen and sit the fuck back and don't, treat a man like your king as well. It is mutual, but in previous generations in history, like when we think of the traditional routes for courting and relationships and marriage, it was the man really had to step the fuck up to win a woman over. And a woman needs to see that the partner that they have can be a secure provider, a supporter, a family man, an emotionally stable man. Masculine and feminine, they have the roles in both of us, but we need to be held by a divine masculine man. And unfortunately, there's very few out there right now, because the way that dating and relationships and social media's had a big part to play in this. Contraception's had a big part to play in this. It's changed people's hormones, people's perceptions over women, of men, of how we show up in the world. And It's making men more feminine and women more masculine, and there's a real divide there, and no wonder people are struggling to form deep connections and beautiful relationships and long-term marriages. But again, going off on a tangent, what I'm getting at more than anything is just focus on yourself, focus on your healing, your self-development, your growth, your spirituality, your love for yourself, a deep, unconditional love. Focus on that. Focus on making yourself happy, joyful. Get that spark in your life. Be passionate about life. Romanticize your life. Enjoy the life that you have been lucky enough to be bought, to be here to experience. And the right people will come into your life at the right time. But actually, you'll just be so focused on yourself that it'll just happen naturally. And regardless of that, you'll just be so happy. And they will simply be an added bonus. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of challenges, actually. We are in the month of March. We're nearing the end of March now. So I'm going to give you to the end of April to step out of your comfort zone. I'm going to list a couple of different things here. Pick something that's out of your comfort zone. Something that you'll do every day. Definitely some form of meditation, movement of your body, a cold plunge, cold shower, breath work, some sort of spiritual and grounding practice, getting out in nature as much as possible. That's a definite. So these are your daily practices. But at one point in this month, do the thing that you've been waiting to do, that you've been let down by your friend or your family with, something that you've missed out on, the restaurant that you're desperate to go to, the spa night that your body is so ready for, the cinema trip to watch that film that you cannot wait to see, that new networking event that you've been a little bit shy to go to, but you know that it'll really impact your career, your business, the gym class that you don't feel ready for, you feel like a beginner, but you know that it'll help you advance. Pick one. Pick one that is slightly out of your comfort zone and go and do it. Build up your confidence. Slowly but surely it will come. And as I've said before, like on solo dates and doing things on your own, sometimes you can feel uncomfortable, overwhelmed. It's scary. Are people looking at me? Oh, this is embarrassing, whatever. There's so many different feelings that can come up. Even when I go out sometimes, that still happens. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I take myself out for a meal and sometimes I take a journal with me. I'll take a journal with me to write in, or I'll read a book or something to just get over those initial nerves. But honestly, you will come away feeling so light, so free, so connected to yourself in your own energy, because that's another thing as well, is when you're always surrounded by other people or relying on other people, you're in their energy bubble. Your energies become mixed. And yes, that's a beautiful thing. If you're around the right people, you want their energy as part of yours. You want to be part of their aura, what have you. There's other people that maybe you don't, but that doesn't matter. Coming back to being in your own energy, what I'm getting at is when you are out and about and in your own energy, it is so authentic and aligned that actually you end up attracting so many beautiful experiences. I cannot tell you the amount of times when I've gone out on my own and I get chatting with the bar staff, I get given a free drink. I went out on my birthday once and I got this little cake on and a message, happy birthday, with a candle in. You know, you get treated like royalty when you go out on your own. I swear you really do, and it's beautiful. And I'm not saying go out just for that, but just the way that people show up for you and the way that people treat you, they go all out, and it's beautiful. It's something that you just don't really experience when you're in a group or when you're with another person. But also, regardless of how you are treated by staff or what have you, but you're also more approachable because you're on your own. So again, the amount of times when I've been out on my own and I get chatting away to groups of guys, girls, families, someone else who's on their own, connect with another individual who's also out solo, and before you know it, you've made a new bestie. The connections that you make through actually being in your own energy, your beautiful aura, the way that you shine and light up and show up when you are on your own is something else. And it is doing something else within you. It's almost like it's putting all the missing pieces together. And you that's when you do really truly become whole. So yeah, those are my challenges. What are you going to do every day? What is your challenge by the end of April that you are going to set for yourself? Take some of those examples or create your own, but just make sure it is slightly out of your comfort zone. Doesn't have to be anything huge, but just slightly out to make you feel a little bit nervous, a little bit uncomfortable, make you question like, oh, I might just leave it. I might just stay at home. Something like that. But then of course you're going to go and do it, and you're going to feel freaking awesome once you have. This is how you get to the point where you love yourself so much, where you actually love being single, where you couldn't imagine it any other way, where you actually, if I'm being honest, don't even think about it. Like, I don't even think about it. This is my life and I love it. And yes, I happen to be on my own. That's just like one tiny, minuscule fact about me that's really insignificant and doesn't matter whatsoever. It doesn't define your worth. It doesn't make you behind or ahead or whatever. It doesn't make you successful or not successful. Like nothing. None of this matters. It's just one tiny part of who you are. But think of all the incredible things that you actually are that do matter. And show up and be that person for yourself. Yeah, I've loved this episode. I've honestly loved it. And I feel like I've gone off on many tangents and gone a little bit back and forth, but I really hope that my message has come across for you guys. And I really hope that with time, patience, a lot of work and consistency, really, really showing up for yourself and doing the hard things sometimes, but also doing the nice things as well for yourself, that you will get to this point as well. And I know that in time, those of us who do meet the right person at the right time, it will just be so incredibly beautiful, and they'll just be that extra little bonus. Because I feel the same with a partner that I meet as well. I would want them to be so focused on their lives that, again, I'm their partner, I'm their spouse, whatever you want to call it. I'm a part of their life. They're already incredibly beautiful, aligned, amazing life that they absolutely love and adore. Because after my previous experience, I do not want someone who needs me, who relies upon me, who is unhappy in themselves, because honestly, they just drag you the fuck down. And I think that's another thing. When you go through experiences like that, it makes you realize just how incredible being on your own is, because there's no one to drag you down. There's no one's mood that can affect you. There's no one's message or lack thereof that's going to bother you, because you're just so in tune and devoted and grounded and grateful and blessed and loving of yourself. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That is the end of our episode. If you love this episode, please leave a rating, a review, drop a comment. Please let me know what you are challenging yourself to do with regards to the examples that I gave. Have you chosen one of those, or have you thought of your own? Send this episode to a friend who you think may benefit as well. And as always, all of the engagement, all of the love and support that you can give ensures that I am able to continue doing these podcasts. Without you guys, there would be no podcast, there would be no me. So any support that you're able to give and to show, it is truly, honestly, so appreciated. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and I look forward to chatting with you again on the next episode. Bye bye. Lots of love.